Hey there, welcome to the first episode of my Beginner Gardener series. I'm really excited to have you here because it means that you are starting a garden or you've been gardening for a couple of years now and you're looking to expand your knowledge. I've created this series to help you make sense of the gardening world. Gardening can be really overwhelming because there's so much information to know, but I promise you by the end of these episodes, you are really going to understand everything you need to be a successful gardener in this season and every season coming up. Each episode of this gardening series is going to be short and sweet, 10 minutes or less. This way you're able to pick and choose what you are looking to learn more about. You'll be able to easily find them. I'm going to label the topics in all of the titles so you know exactly what you're getting in these videos. And because they're under 10 minutes, it's low commitment, so you can take them in bite-sized pieces and process the information without feeling too overwhelmed. Through these episodes, I'm going to take you through everything you need to know, starting from how to even plan a garden, how to find the best plants for your space, and I'm even going to take you through some gardening jargon so that way the next time you talk to somebody or read an article, you'll understand what all of the words mean and you'll be able to grow a very successful garden. By the end of this series, you are going to feel like a professional gardener. You won't have to feel overwhelmed or that you're out of your element. By the end of this, gardening is going to come off really easy and you're going to be having a really good time with this new hobby. If you enjoy these videos and are excited about this beginner series, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button and you subscribe to our channel. That way you're notified of all new episodes that are coming out. So without further ado, let's get into our first lesson for today. Today's lesson is all about how to plan where you're going to put your garden. Planning on where your garden is going to go is important. Once you've decided on the location, it will answer some of the other questions, such as what type of garden you're going to grow in, what type of things you want to grow, and how much space you have to grow it in. Do you plan to grow on a balcony, on your driveway? Do you have a front or backyard? Are you lucky enough to have an allotment? Once you determine where you grow, we can start answering some of the other questions. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to discuss is light. Plants require light in order to grow, so it's really important for you to know what type of lighting that you have in the space that you're hoping to grow in. At the end of this section, I am going to give you some homework on what you can do to determine your lighting, so stay tuned for that. But what you're trying to accomplish is finding the sunniest spot in your yard or on your balcony. The main goal is to find the sunniest location because plants require sunlight to grow. So if you are growing on a windowsill or a balcony, you're going to want to find the sunniest window that you can find or the sunniest spot on your balcony. If you're growing in your backyard or front yard, pick a couple of locations that are an option for your garden because you always want to build your garden wherever the most amount of sun is. Okay, so this is the homework that you have. Pick a day that you are home the entire day and it's sunny out. It's important that you have at least part sun, but the sunniest day possible would be your best option. So you're going to set an alarm on your phone or on an alarm clock to go off every single hour from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And what you're going to do is when that alarm goes off, you're going to go outside to where you want your garden to be and you're going to take a picture. So if you're growing on a windowsill, take a picture of that windowsill every single hour. On a balcony, take a picture of the entire balcony if it's possible, every single hour from 9 to 5. And if you're growing outside, whichever places that you were thinking of putting a garden, take pictures of those places. To make your life easier when you're done taking those photos, put some text over top of them with the hour that you took the picture so that way you don't have to look at the photos and go into the details section of it to figure out what time of day it was. If you put the hour on it right from the get-go, you can easily look through all of your photos and see what time of day it was. So what you're doing with this activity is you are actually going to be looking at what 8 hours of sunshine looks like across your yard or your balcony. Oftentimes we think that our space is sunnier than it actually is, and you would be surprised with where the shade is landing in your yard or on your balcony. The other thing to keep in mind is that depending on what time of the season you're taking the photos, if it's spring, summer, or fall, the sun is actually at a different section of the horizon. So you do want to keep that in mind. And the other thing is if you have any trees in your or your neighboring yard, if they don't have leaves on them yet, there is a chance that when the tree does grow its leaves, that it will shade parts of your yard, so just keep that in mind. So the goal with this is once you have all of your photos, you can swipe through it and you can see where is the sunniest section in your yard or on your balcony, and wherever that place is, that is where you're going to want to put your garden. So once you're done doing the lighting homework, the next step you're going to want to do is figure out what type of garden you want to grow. And by the type, I mean, do you want to grow in pots, in a raised bed, or in the ground, or a mix of all of them? If you're growing in a windowsill, on a balcony, or on a driveway, you're likely going to use pots because that is the easiest option for you. If you are growing in your front yard or your backyard, you can do a mix of in-ground, raised beds, or containers, which is all up to you on which one suits your needs the best. Or if you have an allotment or a nice backyard with some good soil, you can grow directly in the ground. So what you want to do is you want to take the time to decide what makes the most sense for you with both your time, your effort, and your budget. If you're growing in the ground, there are different budgets and time commitments compared to growing in containers. So decide what makes the most sense for you and your space. Speaking of space, that is the third and final part of today's lesson. So once you've determined the lighting and the type of garden you want to grow, space is the final factor here that you want to look at. How many containers can you fit on your balcony or on your windowsill? If you're growing in the ground, how big of a garden can you dig up? Or if you're growing in raised beds, what size of raised bed do you plan on either building or buying? Once you know the amount of space that you have to grow in, it will help you determine which plants suit your garden best. If you have a larger garden, you can grow a lot of different plants and a lot of larger varieties. But if you're growing in pots, you'll only be able to grow some smaller plants. And then of course, the amount of lighting you have will determine what plants you grow as well. But don't worry, it sounds like a lot, but we're going to get into it in upcoming videos more in depth, so you don't have to worry too much about it right now. So in this video, we covered how to determine how much light you have in your yard. We've talked about what type of container or garden you want to grow in, and then what you're going to do is check how much space you have to grow in. And once you've written those down, you are that much closer to building a garden. And that's it. Super quick video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel as we release more episodes on this beginner gardener series. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.